First responders have been flocking to Western North Carolina to help people who are in desperate need of it. Greensboro Fire is among the teams helping in the search efforts. Here today to talk about their efforts, Greensboro Fire and life safety educator Matt Grossclose. Thank you so much for being here today. I do appreciate it.
Good evening, Chad.
And you might see here on right there. That's what you're looking for. If we're looking to take your questions as well, whether it's related to what's going on out west or just fire safety in general, you can text the questions to the number on your screens, 336-379-5775. First, I want to talk about the firefighters that you all have in Western North Carolina. How many are out there and what have they been doing?
Well, we have 26 members of the Greensboro Fire Department that are currently deployed in the western part of the state. 17 of those are with our USAR team, which is going out and been doing water rescues in boats and everything else like that. We also just deployed a crew yesterday, a crew of 4 as well as a battalion chief, to the city of Asheville to assist them with responding to emergencies. There's also people in communication centers as well as folks that are doing logistics.
It's incredible that, I think that most people at home, when you hear, Greensboro Fire sent a crew here, they're all the same type of profession, or they're all the same type of specialty, but it sounds like it's really a broad range.
Absolutely, and there are so many things that you have to think about the first responders that live in those areas. Some of them haven't been able to go home yet to assess the damage to their own properties, so it's partially just cycling those crews out, putting fresh crews in, letting those people go home and see what home is like for them anymore.
I imagine, do they work a lot of is it like 12 on, 12 off? Are you familiar with
That's correct. You're certainly not going to be able to work 24 hours a day for 7 or 8 days in a row, so they do get to take some breaks, and they've moved around to some different locations. Right now, everyone is in the areas around Asheville.
Got it. Okay. I imagine it probably also takes a toll on the colleagues back home who are thinking about their colleagues out there doing all this.
You have to think about first responder mental health in anything that we do. Those that are out there, they're going to come home and they're going to have seen some really tough things, some tough sights. People have lost everything and worse. And then you're going to have the folks that are home wishing they could be there to help, and some that are waiting to go out. Those crews may come back in a couple of days, and a new crew will go out to relieve them. I
know I've done stories with first responders, firefighters in the past about seeing some of these traumatic situations, and then you come home and then how do you deal with it? Well, I think all departments really have a very good way for people to get their mental health checked.
We have a wonderful peer support team here in the city of Greensboro. If anybody sees a traumatic incident, they can go and talk to someone that is either been there before, someone that's on another crew, just a listening ear to monitor them over the coming days, because the first 24, 48, 72 hours after a bad incident are the toughest. And then there's lingering effects and dreams that you could have down the line.
I'm also thinking about the husbands and wives and the kids and everybody who's still here while their loved one is out there. I imagine it's tough for them too.
They're putting that trust in the training that all of the firefighters have had over the years. Keep in mind that our members go through a rigorous 6-month academy and even more training after that to be a part of our special operations division. They're well prepared for this, and they just have to put that trust in their training.
Have you done any of these types of deployments?
I have not personally.
But you see it happen all the time.
Yeah, absolutely, and this one hits very close to home. There have been some smaller deployments recently with other tropical storms and everything, but this is certainly one of the worst in years.
When I think about sending first responders from different communities out somewhere to help with relief efforts, I think of the beach, and think of, going to hurricanes that hit in a more traditional way at the beach. I imagine it's more complicated when you're in the mountains.
Correct. You have to think about the lack of communications that these crews have had. We've had people ask, where exactly are they? Well, they're in rural areas, and often over the past couple of days, areas where they've had little to no communication. So they're getting these reports of folks that are going out and saying, hey, can you check on my loved one? They're trying to go to that area and render aid.
So, a lot of different departments are kind of pushing towards certain resources. Your department doing the same, correct?
That's right.
And what are you suggesting people go to donate to or look toward?
Well, certainly the American Red Cross is one of the biggest ones that we partner with. We know that on the WFMI website you have put a lot of other local charitable organizations. Thank you so much for having that call center here last night. We really trust and believe in those organizations that are really good at what they do. So.
Well, let's switch gears now. As you know, next week is Fire Prevention Week. You know, the theme of this year is smoke alarms. You brought a smoke alarm here with you.
Absolutely.
The first question, how many of these should you have in your house?
So you should have at least one on every floor, one on every level, and one in every area where someone sleeps. So if you have a 2-story home with a basement and there's the chance that you could have someone sleeping in the basement, keep one in the basement. Make sure that you have one in your living room and then at least one in every bedroom.
Is there a specific brand you would suggest or recommend? I mean, are there many brands at all?
That's a really good question, and there's a lot of brands out there, and you can go right in a lot of ways, but you can also go wrong in a couple of ways. You don't want to buy something off of the internet that's not UL tested. You want to have something that's approved by the National Fire Protection Association. There's a lot of brands out there like Kidde, First Alert, Fire Decks. You want to make sure that it's been tested, it's been approved, and there's also different kinds that you can have inside of your home. For people that have an older home, they're going to have a regular battery-operated one, and as they replace those, they can get them with a long-lasting lithium-ion battery that lasts up to 10 years. And smoke alarms have to be replaced every 10, so that's pretty convenient.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we are just scratching the surface here. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back to talk about fire safety. Again, you can text your questions to the number you see on your screen, and we'll be right back.